Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 164th Braintree High School Commencement Ceremony in celebration of the great class of 2022. At this time, please rise as you are able in body or in spirit for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you, and please be seated. Thank you. Before the ceremony begins, I would like to thank everyone for their cooperation in making today's ceremony a special occasion. Out of respect for our speakers, our graduates, our faculty, and our invited guests, I ask everyone to refrain from the use of any noisemakers or other objects that could be a distraction. For the safety and enjoyment of all present, I also ask that you please do not enter the playing field during or after the ceremony. And finally, please be courteous to those around you and consider everyone's visibility when taking photographs. In particular, please avoid standing in the front walkway of the bleachers as it blocks the view of those seated in the first several rows. If you find yourself in need of assistance in any way, Braintree police officers and BHS staff are located throughout the stadium, and medical services are available under the tent in front of the concession stand. At the conclusion of the ceremony, the graduates will recess out of the stadium, past the concession stand, and to the practice fields, and we ask those families and friends who wish to do so to gather there to celebrate with the class of 2022. To begin this morning's program, please welcome to the microphone the president of the class of 2022, Sarah Durant, for a formal welcome.
All right. Good morning. I want to begin by welcoming those community members who have helped us over the years, and I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to those here today for sticking by our sides all these years. Thank you to the family members, teachers, staff, and special guests who are celebrating our accomplishments today. We would not be here without you. Welcome all to the celebration of these incredible people. But of course, I want to sincerely congratulate you all, the class of 2022, for earning this triumphant moment. You have overcome so many challenges and have had so many victories to reach this milestone. Whether your victory is passing that chemistry class, making the honor roll, turning in your English essay 2 minutes before midnight, making up that gym class, or finding the motivation to show up, they have all added up. All of your sometimes seemingly small achievements have led you to this moment, this grand finale. So, soak it all in. Let's cherish this last victorious moment together. I speak for everyone here when I say I am proud of you for persevering through everything that was thrown at us these past few years. These obstacles only brought us closer together. We gladly spent more time together after the great asbestos scare of 2021 pushed our first day of school back. We poked fun at the chaos of the parking lot. Well, most of us. And even when we were required to spend our days physically apart, We shared moments of smiles and laughter, which we tried to hide out of frame during our Google Meets. But we have also shared victorious moments, whether that be cheering on our athletes like this year's girls' tennis or boys' hockey teams, hoping their playoff runs last long, or enjoying the incredible theater performances and band concerts in our auditorium. And we showed support for our clubs by going to the Interact Club's car wash or buying bracelets from Spanish National Honor Society. So, I hope when you look around at one another, and when you look back on these 4 years, you remember the moments of togetherness. In this life, there's a different kind of wealth, one that can be found in friendships, relationships, travels, hobbies, careers. So please, go forth and search for that different kind of wealth. And I hope your years here have brought you closer to realizing what that may be for you. This community that you have been a part of will be there to support you once you go off on your own. And when you do go forth in the world, do it with kindness, empathy, and most importantly, the confidence to remain true to yourself. Don't try to hide anything about yourself. Be as authentic as you can. Thank you once again to the class of 2022 and those around us who have helped us. The impact we have had on one another may be small, but it is everlasting. We are all a mosaic of one another. Congratulations, and in the words of Mr. Flanagan, good talk.
Thank you, Sarah. Next, the members of the BHS Concert Choir, the senior members of the BHS Concert Choir, will perform Back Home.
change us. Oh no, the city won't change us, won't change us. And no matter where we go, we always find a way back home. Always find a way back home.
And now Shane Rogers, the BHS Student Body President, will deliver a message for his classmates and our guests. Shane?
All right. Give me a second to unfold here. Good morning. Thank you. It was 3 years, 8 months, and 3 days ago that I first stood before the class of 2022 to speak. It was a few weeks into freshman year, and we had no idea of the tumultuous 4 years that were ahead of us. The regular challenges of high school, completing the never-ending nightly homework, navigating new and old friendships, and, most difficult for many of us, getting enough sleep, became even harder while living through the worst global pandemic in over 100 years, which completely upended every aspect of our social and our academic lives. Everyone here, student or audience member alike, has their own experiences from the past 2 years. However, I want to focus on some of the good that our school accomplished in the wake of COVID. Leadership is a virtue that is exhibited by so many Braintree High students. We are lucky enough to have a school full of leaders who make a positive impact every day. One of the best examples of leadership that we have at the school is the Senior Class Student Council. The main purpose of Student Council is to raise funds for events like prom. But due to some unforeseen circumstances in March of 2020, certain fundraisers like the Blacklight Dance that year or Junior Prom the next year could not be held. But all 10 members were steadfast in their dedication to the class and to making the most of their situation. For example, they banded together to sell masks, which both raised necessary funds and helped the public to mitigate the impact of those lost fundraisers. Despite the numerous challenges that they faced, they were able to put on a successful senior prom 2 nights ago. The Student Council perfectly displays how perseverance leads to success and how adversity and challenge make better leaders out of all of us. In terms of service, I would like to highlight a recent initiative by our environmental club. It is no secret that schools use a lot of paper, although over the last 2 years I found myself typing more than writing. To try to offset the school's paper usage over the past few years, the Environmental Club launched a tree drive, where anyone, maybe even some of you in this audience, who wanted to could buy a sapling and plant it around town. These students wanted to leave their mark on this town by doing something simple like selling trees, but that makes a huge impact on the entire community. These trees will provide the town with clean air for years to come and help to make our town more environmentally friendly. Our children now and our children of the future will be thankful for the work that you've done today. My fellow students, it was a difficult 4 years. Many of us struggled and suffered through them. The world that we left in March 2020 was not the same one that we returned to 6 months later. Adjusting to a new normal in the wake of a pandemic was something that no one has had to do in 100 years and hopefully will not have to for a long time. We did more than just survive. We persevered and we overcame. I know that everyone in this crowd is proud of you for that. So my fellow students, go on from today and go out into the world and be proud of what you've done here at Braintree High School, because you have left your mark here, and you, the class of 2022, will never be forgotten. Thank you.
Thank you, Shane. At this time, I would like to briefly acknowledge some of the many people who have helped contribute to the success of the class of 2022 and have helped to make this year's graduation celebration possible. Thank you to Mayor Kokoris, the members of the school committee, and the Braintree Public Schools central administrators, Superintendent Jim Lee, Interim Assistant Superintendent Courtney Miller, and retiring Director of Finance and Operations Ed Cronin for their leadership and vision and for making all of this spring's events possible. Thank you as well to the members of the Town Council, the Braintree Fire Department, and especially the Braintree Police Department, which has been instrumental in the success of both today's graduation ceremony, other senior events this spring, and is an excellent partner for our school. Our three assistant principals, Andy Dellery, Nancy Moynihan, and Matt Reardon, have worked tirelessly on this spring's events, but more importantly have guided the education of the graduates you see before you for the past 4 years. The Braintree Public Schools curriculum directors and the BHS guidance staff have led our students through their high school journey. BHS English teacher Alex Jeffries worked with our student speakers on the development and delivery of their speeches and has helped to make them so great. Head custodian Tom Mahar and the entire BHS custodial staff, the Braintree Public Schools maintenance staff, BHS hall monitors Ms. Marianne Baker and Ms. Tricia Devon, Wes Ray and the BCAM staff, and the Braintree Parks and Recreation Department have all contributed to making this day a special one. And a special thank you to Administrative Assistant Jill Cooney and Assistant Principal Nancy Moynihan, who have planned and coordinated this entire ceremony, working on it for literally months. Today would not be possible without your efforts. Finally, I would like to acknowledge the Braintree High School faculty and staff for the incredible work that they have done over the past 4 years in preparing their students for this memorable day, work that continued the efforts of countless other BPS educators who worked with these students prior to high school. In particular, I would like to recognize Tristan Eckler, Haley McAuliffe, and Steve Wakeland, the senior class advisors, whose vision and perseverance have aided the class of 2022 in countless ways. And at this time, the officers of the class of 22 would like to make a special presentation.
As a 4-year student council member, James, Adrian, Sarah, our fellow members, and I would like to give a big thank you to Mr. Wakeland and Miss McAuliffe. If we didn't have them, we're not sure how our senior year would have gone. And to Miss Nelson, thank you for your incredible work the past few years. Lastly, to Miss Eckler, who's been through it all with us. It's been a fabulous 4 years with you, and I'm sure you'll be glad that there will be no more early Tuesday morning meetings. Thank you.
At this time, please welcome to the stage the class of 2022's Salutatorian, Cooper Emerson.
Congratulations, class of 2022. Today, I'm going to talk about a lesson I learned this year in school that relates to all of us. In my literature class, we learned about intertextuality, the idea that there is truly only one story. I suppose in one sense, every story is unique, in a way. Each has its own plot, characters, and conflicts that shape it into something special and original. But in its basis form, when the creative details are stripped away, it's the same as any other. Whether it be the Odyssey or the Great Gatsby, all stories branch out from one another and borrow from universal themes and creation myths that connect them, no matter how vastly different the plots may seem. I believe all of us have been acquainted with the hero's journey at some point in high school, the fateful quest into an unknown world that leads to a revelation that transforms the hero as they return home with their knowledge. And yes, your teachers were right. It doesn't just apply to the Odyssey, it also applies to Star Wars or Harry Potter or any other story you're familiar with. However, I believe that this idea of interconnectedness and universality stretches beyond the realm of literature. In reality, our experience as high schoolers was just the first of many heroes' quests that life will inevitably throw our way. In one respect, our individual stories throughout the past few years of high school were vastly different from one another. None of you took the exact same math classes as the person next to you, or joined the exact same clubs and sports as the person behind you. But that doesn't mean we have nothing in common with them. We all went to school in the same building. We all struggled through physics in order to be sitting here and get our diploma. When we step back and take a look at each of our stories, we will see, in the end, there really is only one story. One that doesn't make us any less our own individuals with unique lives, but does make us ever more connected. For our experiences in the past 4 years go to show that no matter who you meet in life, there's some similarity in your stories, some connection to be made. It may not be exactly like Odysseus' hero's journey, but each of our lives is a journey all the same. Whether it is the rite of graduation or your own coming-of-age story, our experiences as humans are archetypal. And there are more people than you think who can understand your story. We must remember that no matter where you are in the world, you can find a way to connect, share, and find support in anyone around you. The paths our stories will take us next may diverge from each other more than they ever have before. But I want to leave you with a quote from Joseph Campbell, an American writer known for his work, The Hero with 1,000 Faces. It goes, "We have not even to risk the adventure alone, for the heroes of all time have gone before us. The labyrinth is thoroughly known. We have only to follow the thread of the hero path." So remember, in this next unknown chapter of our lives, just follow the thread. Or don't, and prove me wrong with your own story, one the world has never seen before. Thank you.
Thank you, Cooper. Next, we will hear from the BHS Festival Orchestra under the baton of Dr. Sulbaran playing How Far I'll Go. final student speaker on today's program, the class of 2022's valedictorian, Evan Bravo.
Good morning, class of 2022! You didn't need to do that, but I like the ego boost. It feels surreal to finally see you all in your caps and gowns. Just a short time ago, we were nervously wandering into this building, and now we're confidently strutting out. It's no secret then that we've grown immensely over these past 4 years. We've made friends and sometimes lost a few. We've discovered interests in things that we never imagined, from badminton to baking. And we even learned not to block the hallway, as freshmen tend to do. Much of this growth was gradual, but I've also experienced how change can often happen in a single, illuminating moment. I had one such moment in my first year at BHS. My freshman year, like many, was filled with its ups and downs. Adjusting to a new school environment and trying to find a social circle where I belonged had taken its toll on me. And on one particular day, I was at my lowest. As I sat in front of my computer in Spanish class, staring numbly at the screen, I wanted nothing more than to go home, curl up in bed, and just sleep the rest of the year away. It was at that moment that my teacher, Salutatorian, pulled me aside and asked me something that caught me off guard. Is everything all right? Is everything all right? I thanked her, assured her not to worry, and tried to focus on my work again. But I just couldn't get those simple words off my mind. Is everything all right? They opened my eyes to an important, hidden skill that BHS has taught us all along. Yes, a skill more important than the legendary Pythagorean theorem. I'm talking about empathy. Senor Young didn't just write me off as tired or bored and tell me to get back to work. Instead, she took the time to see the world through my eyes, to think about me as a person and realize that something wasn't right. This isn't the only example either. Opportunities to see from others' perspectives are all around us at BHS. At first, we thought that teachers marking up our tests in red pen meant that they just plain old didn't like us. But over the years, we've come to understand that they want us to see our mistakes and learn from them. We know now that the coaches that push us don't like to see us panting and sweating. They want us to be the best athletes that we can possibly be. We can even see this phenomenon between our own classmates. After all, one of the things I love most about BHS is that it's ultimately a place of discussion. Have you ever had a heated debate with a friend in class, maybe over climate change or whether The Outsiders was the best book we read? It was. But still had lunch with them right after? That's empathy at work. Making the effort to respect and understand others' perspectives will take us far in building and maintaining relationships, especially in the future. While it's true that Braintree is growing even more diverse, it's still a bubble that many of us have lived in for all our lives. And once we take our first steps outside this bubble, we'll meet people with viewpoints, backgrounds, and identities even more different than those we know now. If we view and judge others through solely our own lens, how can we ever hope to forge connections between us? So don't write others off, make assumptions, or vilify them just because they're different. Don't misconstrue their actions just because you may not understand them. We need to put ourselves in others' shoes, initiate discussion, and do our best to treat them with respect. Even if we may sometimes falter, our education at BHS has given us the tools we need to recognize and rectify it. In a world that seems ever more divided, ever more intent on vitriol rather than understanding, we have the power to extend our hands instead of drawing them away. If we can do that, I think we can help make a world where people feel seen, understood, and accepted. And so, to finally answer the question, is everything all right? I'm happy to say that today, I couldn't be better. We couldn't be better. Thank you, and congratulations, class.
Thank you, Evan. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to recognize some members of the class of 2022 for certain impressive and noteworthy accomplishments. Braintree High School in the town of Braintree has a proud tradition of military service, and we thank all of the current and former members of the various branches who are here today for their service. One member of the class of 2022 has already confirmed plans to enter the military after graduation. And at this time, I ask Michael McGuire, who will be becoming a Marine, to stand and be recognized. Certain members of the Class of 2022 have earned the distinction of being named class scholars, a designation that signifies their cumulative academic performance has placed them in the top 5% of their class. Their names are indicated in your program, and I ask now for a round of applause for them. I would also like to recognize those students who have received all A's and B's through every marking term over the course of their career here at BHS. I will ask the following students to stand and remain standing as I call their names, and please hold your applause until all names have been called. Cole Barry, Evan Bravo, Adriana Casanova, Ellen Chan, Nicholas Chang, Olivia Charbonnier, Carly Danahy, Maggie DiCarlo, Adrienne L., Cooper Emerson, Emily Fahey, Kaylee Fowler, Tiani Gao, Fernando Gaspar Rodriguez, Yara Hamam, Maeve Hanrahan, Dia Jamtani, Caitlin Kelly, Kyle Nell, Beryl Kwang, Megan Lai, Hubert Lee, Yanshin Liu, Sarah Liu, Elizabeth McDonald, Jacob Murphy, Rachel Nguyen, Caroline Parks, Trista Polaro, Rahul Prasad, James Rust, Tyler Tang, Quinn Tran, Joshua Vo, and Amanda Zhu. Congratulations, a great job. Today's ceremony affords me the honor of making a few brief remarks at this time, and I want to say that speaking to you, the class of 2022, is particularly meaningful for me personally. You are the first class that I have known throughout its BHS career, which, on a personal and professional level, means that your class will hold a special meaning for me for the rest of my life. 4 years ago, when you were learning how to navigate the halls of BHS, so was I. When you were getting comfortable with your new high school schedule, so was I. And when you were a new kid at a new school, one that had a strong culture based on tradition and excellence, a school that was both exciting and perhaps a little intimidating, so was I. Over the course of these 4 years, we both have had the opportunity to learn about the various academic, artistic, athletic, and service activities that make BHS great. I have learned that you are a class of incredible talent in all of these fields. But what I've learned most is that you are a class that doesn't quit. Here's what I mean by that. A friend of mine recently pointed out that some years back, it was common for us adults to talk about how what kids today needed was more grit, that intellectual and social skills were important, but what really mattered was the ability to stick with something, even when it wasn't going as planned. Well, you might notice that we don't talk about that quite as much anymore. Why? Your class's resolve in the face of a very different high school experience points out that reason. I don't need to go through the details of the past 2.5 years. We've all heard about enough of that. But suffice it to say that you have withstood challenges that have been exceptionally difficult, even for us, the adults in your lives, to get through. Right from the first weeks of this school year, however, your enthusiasm and your cohesion as a class pointed the way for all of us for how things could get better. And while the progress hasn't always been a straight line, it never is, you have been responsible for BHS's gradual return to normalcy. And your embrace, in particular, of all of our end-of-year traditions has reset expectations for the entire school and will be a hugely important example for the classes that follow behind. People want to talk about grit? You've more than shown it. You've redefined the term. This past fall, in a class meeting, I told you that I had 3 expectations for all of you. Work hard, get involved, and be kind. I'm happy to say this morning that you've done just that. I've seen you work hard in the classroom, in the rehearsal hall, and on the playing field. And I have seen the results in the form of everything from AP tests to fantastic art shows to individual and team athletic achievements. I know that you've gotten involved as well, managing to pull off events after essentially losing 2 years of planning, but also starting new organizations, lending new life to existing ones, and consistently standing up and speaking up for what you believe in. You have also exhibited kindness, both as a group and as individuals, and the times that I think I'll remember most are the quiet moments, when you spoke up for a friend that you were concerned about and wanted to make sure that everything was okay. I'll ask you this morning to keep those 3 expectations in mind when you leave BHS, and I want you to know that they may become more challenging, but also more important now that you are graduates. You may encounter people who don't appear to work as hard as you do, and yet they seem to get by just as well. Don't be distracted by this. Continue to work hard, and the results will come. You might encounter barriers to getting involved as easily as you could here at BHS. Ignore them and keep getting involved and keep working toward the change you want to see in this world. And finally, being kind to each other at BHS can be a challenge at times because we are such a big place with such an incredible and wonderful mix of traditions, cultures, ideas, and beliefs. But the world that you are about to enter is even more diverse and more challenging, and believe me, it is even more in need of your kindness than ever before. Being kind to a person begins by seeing them as an individual, by having empathy, as we've already heard today. In this past month, I've been curious about your individual experiences and how you have been making sense of your high school career. So I asked some of you to write down a few ideas for me. What do you think was important about the last 4 years? What really mattered? What mattered to you, and how have you changed as a result? Almost to a person, those I asked said that what had the biggest impact on their experience was people, both adults and students, and your relationships with them. One of you told me that it was important to, quote, always rely on the help you have available, whether it's a teacher, a guidance counselor, or a friend. Another talked about the bonds we made through shared experience, and one of you stated that he had grown as a result of meeting different people. Above all else, you told me that learning who you are and then being true to yourself was the most important thing. Over the years, one member of your class wrote, I've definitely changed. I've made friendships I'll value for a lifetime. The most important thing is to always be yourself, no matter the time or place. At the end of the day, what really matters is you and your loved ones. I thought that was great advice for everyone, and I'd like Hill Baker to stand up and be thanked for offering it. Hill? Thank you, Hill. One last student reflection summed it up better than I ever could, and so I'll end with that. What is important, this student began? Stay true to yourself and never compromise your values. That's more important than trying to be someone you're not. At BHS, I found my voice and was empowered to use it. I learned that my voice doesn't require an audience of many, but an audience of one who will listen attentively and truly hear me. Then things will happen. I couldn't agree more. I'd like Loli Morales to stand up and be thanked for sharing her thoughts. BHS class of 2022, you are an incredible group of people filled with talent, thoughtfulness, ability, and kindness, and I am incredibly proud of what you have accomplished and what I know you will accomplish in the years to come. As we just heard, if you stay true to your authentic voice, even an audience of one person can be enough. And I want you to know that your collective voice has been heard and will be remembered by this one person. Thank you and good luck. At this time, please now welcome to the stage the Superintendent of the Braintree Public Schools, Mr. Jim Lee, to address and present our graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Scully. Before I present the class, I do want to take the opportunity, this has already been done, to thank the assorted members of our community that have guided these students to this accomplishment. We thank our BHS teachers, administrators, and staff for all of their work, which I'm sure at times seemed endless, but which was crucial to the development of the graduates. This appreciation is not limited to our high school staff, but to the entire teaching and learning staff of our district, who all played a role in the development of these young people gathered before us today. We express appreciation for the leadership of Mayor Koukouris and the Town Council, who continue to emphasize that education is valued in Braintree and that a focus on our young people is the responsibility of every community. We recognize the continued stewardship of our school committee, whose commitment to providing Braintree a school system in which the town can take pride is unwavering. We thank all of the town departments that contribute to the supportive community our students enjoy, and we especially thank the police and fire departments for keeping our community safe. The class of 2022, well, congratulations. I typically dislike quoting other people, but in considering some words to impart, I was immediately drawn to my personal source of inspiration, Beyonce, who eloquently stated, "If everything was perfect, you would never learn and you would never grow." Having experienced 4 years of the greatest hits of our world's imperfections, sitting before me must be individuals who are the perfect combinations of Albert Einstein and the new Bowl. Despite the challenges, they have succeeded. Yes, graduates, together you have succeeded. During your years at Braintree High School, you have rallied together to support one another in the classroom, at the performances, at the athletic competitions, and at the social events Dr. Scully apparently never learned about. No matter what happens in life, be good to people. Being good to people is a wonderful legacy to leave behind. Oh, the perceptiveness of life coach and personal mentor Taylor Swift. By all accounts, you have lived your time at BHS with this underlying philosophy through friendships you have cultivated and the service you have provided others. Such qualities will serve you well as you move on to the next chapters of your life. As those of us who are slightly older, or much older, turn to your generation for leadership, I encourage you to keep those two concepts at the forefront of your thinking. Nothing will be perfect, but you will learn from the experience. And being good to other people will make you a person of whom you can be proud. With those foundations, you have the fortitude to make true change that will positively affect your world. We are excited and hopeful for your futures that you will now begin to write for yourselves. And your hometown will watch proudly as you achieve great things moving forward. And with that, Mayor Kokoris, members of the school committee, parents, family, and guests, I am proud to announce that the students being honored today have met the rigorous graduation requirements established by the Braintree School Committee and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. It is a great honor for me to present to you the Braintree High School class of 2022. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. At this time, I would like to call forward our assistant principals to begin the presentation of diplomas to the class of 2022.
Good morning. It is my privilege and pleasure to read the roll for House 1. At this time, I would like to introduce Ms. Lisa Fisk-Heeger, Chair of the Braintree School Committee, who will present the diplomas to House 1. Shane Martin Rogers. James Patrick Rust. Cooper Joseph Emerson. Achika Akshay Chawade. Natisha Abigail Sakunjapanan. Megan Poblete Lai. Elizabeth Ann McDonald. Beryl Kwong. Nalila Nguyen. Brenna Wee Ho. Bonnie Zhang. Skylar Lee. Nicholas Matthew Hersey. Diksha Aman Kavalapara. Brianna Yamfang Hui. Amanuel Tishagar. Ryan Jenyi Gao. Uriah Lopez. James Ty Lee. I apologize. Ellis Nguyen Huang. Uriah Lopez. James Ty Lee. Aiden John Lopes. Fernando Gaspar Rodriguez. Michael Manuel Morero. Jillian Delia Fay. Charlotte Emma Austin. Riley Adele McCarthy. Caitlin Paige Laporto. Kevin Rodriguez Almeida. William Leo Donley. Michael Tianyi Wu. Tianyi Gao. Minghao Mei. Kaylee Brooke Fowler. Alexa Paige Milano. Gianna Karen Cristiani. Alyssa Rachel Farrakano. Elise Liliana Rucky. Sophia Lynn Iannelli. Olivia Grace Nash. Michaela Sage Salucci. Nyla Michaela Branda. Nicole Alexandra Burton. Ada Marie Uptrink. Tyler Gleb Cullen. Nicholas Orion Newman. Michael Dorsey Conley. Michael Dwitsky. Liam Alec O'Malley. Tyler James Curtis. Kendrick Charles Farrell. Sharice Siwing Wu. John Edward Kennedy. Yara Adele Hamam. Joseph Patrick Tormey Jr. Tyler Bartholomew Opila. Haley Rose Lucas. Kaylee Marie Brennan. Raina Nicole Bishar. Caroline Grace Kelly. Maeve Michelle Sears. Catherine Renee McIntyre. Emma Rose Nieders. Samyukta Bumiswari Karthikeyan. Maeve Teresa Joyce. Ashley Paige Amonte. Maeve Catherine Hanrahan. Grace Elizabeth Murray. Margaret Ann Fleming. Olivia Lynn Minchello. Mary Catherine Higgins. Nina Delaney Lawrence. Natalia Norales. Emma Jane Bossi. Margaret Jean Flanders. Grace Noreen McCarthy. Danielle Elizabeth Coughlin. Jacqueline Marie Ruggiero. Carlo Anthony Fantasia. Jack Connor Mitchell. Brenna Eileen Mulcurrens. Elizabeth De Leon. Josiah Monet Rodriguez Porter. Carolyn Marie Costas. David Anquan Nguyen. Nan Tan Dang. Xavier William Joseph Vasquez. Daniel O'Sullivan Linsky. Matthew Anea Barty. Michael Todd Fantuccio. James Michael O'Brien. Keegan O'Neill Donje. Braden John Donje. Christian Alexandros Casares. Lucy Luxin Lee. Yusin Liu. Gianna Elise Perez. Alexander Ogier. Elena Shea Viara. Angelina Rose Barrett. Dion Raheem Noel Lara. Peter Macmillan Killifer. Kevin Kui Pham. Johnson Lou Sloan. Ellen Jia-Yan Chan. Rua Grace Fay. Justin Nathaniel Pyrus. Jerica Wing-Yi Wan. Brianna Wu. Caitlin Paige Kelly. Ariana Wong. Adam DePeace. Brian Michael Higgins. Brendan Francis Driscoll. Hubert Lee. Joshua Vo. Aman Ali. Connie Wong. Rachel Mann. Molly Christina Burnell. Kendall Paige Lagrasso. Brooke Hunter Spataro. Delia Elizabeth O'Hara. Adriana Carol Ursula Del Vecchio. Anne Mai Lei. Trang Tran. Caitlin Lee Tran. Amanda Yuman Zo. Brendan David McNeil. Claire Lynn. Julian Chan. Jack Thomas Witham. Gage Joseph Guilford Loria. Mateo Colchinacu. Kyle Richard Nuzzo. Michael Nicola Nocera. Paul Francis Hamilton. Edward James Smith. Jacob J. Turner. Benjamin Sam Najjar. Ryan David Lewis. James Paul Devlin. Eamon Thomas Drury. Colin Joseph Gaffney. Garrett James Coughlin. Michael Joseph Costello. Michael Joseph Riley. Jordan Joseph Gorham. Matthew Connor Garrity. Michael Anthony Oliveri. Thank you, Ms. Fisk-Keeger. At this time, I would like to introduce Assistant Principal, Mr. Andrew Dellery, who will call the roll for House 2.
You're good. Yeah, good. Well, we gotta wait for him to come around. Yeah. Or do you want to call him up?
Thank you, Mr. Reardon. At this time, I'd like to introduce Mr. Tom Devon, member of the Braintree School Committee, who will present the diplomas to House 2.
Good.
Evan Braho. Adrian Catherine L. At this time, I'd like to introduce former school committee member, Mr. Cyril Chafe, will present the next diploma. Emily Ann Fahey. Brian Quach. Tyler Jacob Tang. Justin Zhao. Sarah Quinn Liu. Sophia Tang. Mega Kishore Saukar. Dia Jamtani. Sol Beatrice Santishan. Amy Faye Esselstyn. Angela Fang. Christine Kim Vu. Meiyen Zhou. Kwa Mai Tong. Brandon Lin. Christopher Nicholas Chen. William Patrick Sterling. Joseph Matthew Giblin. Bryant Mack. Katie Lang. Roger Joseph Long. Thomas Embrice. Catherine Rose Macaulay. Chantel Joanna Kata Pereira. Yixuan Zeng. Sarah Ruth Boyle. Bryn Sinead Morrison. Grace Elizabeth Brodette. Stephen James Moran. Mario Jesus Goncalves Gomes. Joannis Vasquez. Jared Joseph Sims. Jana Gulino. Maggie Malloy DiCarlo. Jenna Grace Malloy. Kendall Cecilia Bradley. Trista Faye Palara. Amanda Jane Rabello. Maeve McGettrick Holland. Cameron Rose Adams. Katie Joan Fahey. Alex Enea Kolchinaku. Cole Brendan Barry. Kelly Grace Smith. Lauren Elizabeth Tempesta. Lauren Rose Walsh. Margaret Marie Burchill. Catherine Ann Raffa. Jordan Nicole Bello. Allie Marie Farini. Haley Grace Sherrick. Jonathan Daniel Batchelder. Michael Edward McGuire. Joshua Cooper Morelli. Connor Oliver Comerford. Christopher Michael Kuja. Daniel William Keegan. Nathaniel Mayamiko Medi. Caden Joshua Gunning. Jack Michael Woods. Nicholas Daniel Morrissey. Sebastian Thomas Lieb. Timothy Gerard McLaughlin. Donovan Richard Seville. Jeffrey George Sharon Jr. Ryan James Norton. Andrew Michael Akins. Paul Christopher Corcoran. Theodore Patrick Doherty. Matthew John Shaughnessy. Matthew Paul Mead. Jason Patrick Blazkowski. Taking it right back! Mark Jeffrey Noonan. Connor John Powers. James Anthony Cochran. Harrison Andrew McDonald. Derek Stephen Adams. Jacob Daniel Ryan. Colin Edward O'Donnell. Megan Elizabeth Sass. Elizabeth Margaret Collins. Michael Antonio Romero. Neve Anya Kevel. Claire Jamie Mortimer. Olivia Rose Charbonnier. Alexandra Amelia Dodge. Michaela Ketsia DeSanka. Esso Curtis. Jacqueline Taylor Sullivan. Jillian Elizabeth Oster. Michaela Joanne Buckley. Katia Santos Mendez. Amaya Natalia Mauricio Tavares. Miriam Ehab Hoblos. Claire Ann Kelly. Lisa Jean DeMeo. Sophia Ann Marme. Rachel Spring Nguyen. Mary Elaine Aswahe. Magda Mohammed Agua. Shannon Mary McLaughlin. Thomas George Dunford. Jason Zachary Saley. Dat Tan Trin. Quan Ann Tran. William Trong Vo. Joshua Allen Lapham. Thomas Matthew Chenette. Andrew Kwong. Jaylene Eliana Marquez. Morgan Olivia Mastrogiacomo. Marina Vardaxis. Isaiah Malik Davis Pressey. Andrew Lejean Flonery. Abigail Grace Hood. Jaylene Marie Bugner. Olivia Catherine McGurty. Luke Henry Pacillo. John Michael Pacillo. Peter Joseph Tomasetta. Jacob Joseph Murphy. Jason Robert Janofsky. Benjamin Eason Joseph. JC Gannis Arsenault. Michael John Pitts. Robert Anthony Berry. Omar Salman Hassan. Emma Rose Nasser. Ryan Majori. Xavier Lawrence Marshall Walker. Jaden Craigley Fields. Christian Alexander Rosario. Tan Din Viet Pham. Logan James Quinn. Brendan Thomas Lee. Kevin Joseph McGurn. Emily Rose Evans Corkery. Barbara Ann McDonald. Jenna Margaret Cahill. McKenna Grace Feary. Nigelis Noemi Harax. Gianna Marie Bonapani. Mary Ellen Riley. Fatima Zara. Matthew Joseph Coe. Jeffy Wynn Lee. Kendrick Will Pennell. Cameron Michael Garrity. Hilliard Baker III. Olamide Ayeni. Grace Nicolina Levy. Kalita Lopes Tadino. Thank you, Mr. Devon. At this time, I would like to introduce Assistant Principal Ms. Nancy Moynihan, who will read the call for House 3.
Thank you, Mr. Dellery. It is my pleasure and privilege to read the roll for House 3. At this time, I would like to introduce School Committee Member Ms. Carla Saros, who will present the House 3 diplomas.
Nice to see you. Great day. This is a better topic. I love topics like this. Apparently I jumped the gun in Orchestra. I like it. Right. Ready?
Sarah Elizabeth Durant. Lauren Elizabeth Durant. Julia Ann Murray. Nicholas Hong Z. Chang. Adriana Kate Casanova. Benjamin Ruan. Rahul Prasad. Michaela Yu Lam. Madison Rose Stark. Neve Marie Ward Malloy. Abigail Mail McGonigal. Olivia Grace Crawford. Nolan Thomas Toohey. Jameson Dale Brothers. Alexander Hayes Corrigan. Owen Thomas Joseph Brady. Michael Noel Morahan. Gabriel Patrick Din. Grace Marie Berthelot. Abrar Mohammed Morgan. Ariana Rose Nuboli. Clara Marie McMullen. Shannon Mackenzie Myron. Emma Elizabeth Longworth. Mia Jacqueline Safale. Loliana Maria Morales. Lydia Kono. Stacy Lee. Ella Faye Chan. James Stephen Mortimer. Jasani Yannick Telemat. Liam Joseph Connolly. Joshua Robert Donovan. Kevin Joseph Devine. Brian Joseph Dunphy. Quinn Douglas McCrae. Demi Tabaku. Aiden Joseph Albertine. Emmett Michael McGurty. Owen John Flynn. Ronan William Ridge. Jared Stephen Pazon. Matthew Joseph Leone. Thomas Patrick Morahan. Victoria Rose Vasali. Lauren Mary Capabianca. Emerson Rose Hannigan. Sophia May Scarpa. Carly Marie Danahy. Margot Elizabeth Tenney. Hannah Penny Shaw. Emma Ray McDonald. Kyle Gunnar Snell. Calvin Tayshawn Lee. James Paul McGrath. Mazashraf Salamani. Rowan Xavier Getz. Manuel Montero Fernandez Suazo. Kyle Michael Erskine. Liam Patrick Canavan. Marissa Elizabeth Finlay. Isabel Starr Brisnaden. Grace Marie Howland. Samantha Rose York. Meredith Alice Lewis. McKenna Lauren Lockhart. Sunny Camille Cunningham. Ina Rose Downey. Deirdre Catherine Morahan. Sydney Jane Clements. Patricia Ann Ryan. Anna Marie Williams. Nasir Stefan Jones. Tina Tran. Alana Eliara Harold. Amelia Marie Melchion. Nicole Alexandria Duffy. Brennan Christopher Lloyd. Audrey Sindor. Joseph Robert Driscoll. Justin Joseph Sadowski. Benjamin Robert Johnson. Sarah Jane Adams. Sylvie Copeland Samowski. Allison Lanier Knox. Mohammed Faye Shaquille. William Michael White. Kayla Lee. Kayla Solomon Cato. Caroline Page Parks. Sarah Janet Day. Cameron James Aldrich. Charles Benjamin Lopata O'Connell. At this time, I would like to introduce former school committee member Mr. David Ringus, who will present the next diploma. Ariana Agnes Egan Duarte. Michael DeFranzo. Stephen Alexander Friel. Billy Hoan Tran. Kevin Kwong. Kelvin Lee. Ben Nguyen Lee. Jeffrey Tam. Cohen Rowe Drainville. Maeve Caroline Fitzgerald. Abigail Lauren Smith. Barbara Yolanda Garcia Aceituno. Martin Ronald Din. Arif Raham bin Irma Zalman. Matthew Thomas Westerfeld.
Mr. Rant, if you would. Actually, Sarah, hold on. And now Class President Sarah Durant will present the ceremonial tassel salute. Assembled officials, administrators, teachers, and guests, I present to you the Braintree